I was once listening to a father talking about how he rebuilt his relationship with his 20-year-old daughter. He talked of the difficulty they had, that there was no relationship, and she was not even in talking terms with the mother and the father. After attending a particular program, he decides that it is important for him to re-establish trust and re-establish relationships with his daughter. Now he decides on going for a dinner date with his daughter. When he tells her, she flatly refuses. But over time, finally she agreed, and the two of them went for a dinner date. They had their dinner in absolute silence. The father tried to start a conversation, but there were monosyllable responses from the daughter. Finished their dinner, came back. Second time, repeat performance. Third, repeat performance. The father decided that he needed to do something different. So when they went for the fourth time, the father started talking about stories from the past with this girl. The time they spent together as a little child, the things that she had done, the mischief she did, the fun they had, the pain and the fears that they had together. And when he was talking about all this, suddenly this girl says, in the middle of the whole conversation, the girl starts saying, "Where were you when I needed you?" The father kept quiet and she said, "Now when you have retired and you realize and you want this relationship, you are spending time with me and talking to me. When I wanted to talk to you, where were you? When I was 16, when I was going through my first relationship breakup, when I was going through challenges in terms of my career, where were you? You were so busy doing your work that you did not have time to listen to me." Friends, the topic today is about listening and the importance it has in our day-to-day life. The Chinese symbol for listening is the symbol of the heart and the symbol of the ears. Well, we all understand why it's the ears. It's all we keep hearing about: listen more and talk less. But why the heart? The belief is that real listening is a mix of both listening to what the person is speaking, which is the facts, and listening to the feelings and therefore the heart. Unless we do not really listen to what the person is feeling, we are only doing partial listening. The challenge with listening is everywhere. Take a corporate example. When an employee comes to the manager with a problem, the manager is more interested in trying to finish this as soon as he can and leave. More often than not, a couple of questions, a suggestion, and it's done. Maybe for the manager, the problem is really resolved. But is this really resolved for the employee? So often, we hear the employee go back and say, he wasn't even listening. The same thing is true back home. Our children want to talk to us. And many times, the moment the child starts speaking, we are more interested in immediately talking of a similar experience that we had, or we want to immediately tell the child whether the child was right or wrong in doing it, or this was to be done, or what is some advice that the child needed. In short, rather than listening, it's more of our need to speak than listening to what the child goes through. No doubt then, we have so many cases in counseling where more and more adolescent kids come over with their grouse, and most of their conflicts are with their own parents. Conflicts because, for example, like one child was talking to me about, the only time the father talks is to ask two questions. Did you finish your homework? And did you get your pocket money? That's all. Very often parents think that if they are giving precious, valuable gifts, if they take their children on foreign tours, then that's reason enough to be happy. But is this really what the child is really looking for? So let's see, what can effective listening look like? So the first important thing is that we listen, as we said, for the facts, but also the feeling. Am I really listening to what the person's trying to say? Can I capture the feeling? And can I show it back to the person that I really heard it? No advice, no suggestions, no saying whether it's right or wrong, simply pure listening. Our challenge is to be able to hold ourselves back and listen with our full energy and our full attention. Let's take an example of what empathetic listening can really look like. So if the child has spoken about a particular issue, and if we want to show empathy, our response can be something like, from what I've heard you, it appears that in spite of you giving your reason of why you did not do a particular thing, your parents did not trust you or believe in you. And you are more hurt with the fact that your parents didn't trust you. If I can really capture the feelings and the facts and show it to the person that I have really heard you, you will immediately see the nodding of the head. You will immediately see that the person starts talking more because the person picks up that one has really understood them. Other things that help us would definitely be our body language. Am I looking at the person? Is there eye contact? Am I nodding my head from time to time? Am I making approving sounds? Along with it, no distractions, no looking into the laptop, no looking into the cell phone, and the tone of voice. In fact, we all know, as they say, the importance that we actually give to the tone of voice and the body language compared to the words spoken is 93% compared to 7%. Think about the importance. In spite of the words being right, if my body language does not communicate the same, if my tone of voice does not communicate the same, the person will tend to listen more to the body language and the tone of voice rather than to the words spoken. Now here's our opportunity. So often as parents, we want that our children should listen to us. We want that our children spend time with us, talk to us, tell us about how the day has been. But can we stop ourselves from passing judgments? No doubt then we find that children tend to go and listen more to other children and speak more with their own peers rather than spend time at home. And why not? Because that's where they have someone who listens to them, someone who understands them, someone in front of whom they don't need to vet what they say because of either getting approved or disapproved based upon it. Our relationships depend upon our communication. Listening, therefore, is such an important part of that process. If we all decide today that instead of making it again more about me, I take responsibility that if today my child is not speaking to me, it is because I am not really listening to the person. And I make amends at trying to pass less judgment, trying to show empathy, and trying to show that I really want to listen, understand, ask more questions, and only then come up with a solution or pull out a solution from the person. I think we would have made wonders in terms of our relationship with people around us. Thank you.